So here's an important question. As Tracy says here, well, it is good that you caught all this, but what about explaining why you think it's a scam? That would lead to a better understanding of what you're trying to convey to your viewers, just a suggestion. So let's have a look at this. The AT8XM robot. Why is it a scam?
Congratulations. The transfer...
Okay, anything that starts with congratulations. What is the purpose of that message? The transfer to number 95-1 has been successful. Bear in mind this is a video, right? In other words, it's been scripted and organised in advance. There's nothing live about this. It's a video, right? So if it starts telling you messages that has been successfully transferred, how's that possible? They have to be lying by the nature of causality. This cannot be real. That's impossible. Someone telling you that something's just happened in a video is impossible. Right, so bear that in mind. So we know it's a scam instantly. Anyone starting video with congratulations, you've made it through. They're trying to get you into a state of mind where you're feeling, special. They're trying to get you into a vulnerable state of mind. A state of mind where you are easy to convince of certain things. And that is a sign of deception. But let's go on a little and see what else they're going to say to us.
Number 95. One has been successfully sent to you yesterday morning at around 9:24 a.m. You are now one of the 95 completely ordinary people who have just received their first transfer of $632 for...
How did they get my bank details? How do they know who I am? They haven't even mentioned my name. Fundamentally, this video is completely deceptive. And that's very important to recognize immediately. I don't think it's a scam. I know it is instantly, just by a very simple bit of deduction. They're pretending to have information they cannot possibly have. Right? So we know it's a scam instantly. That's very, very important to realize. Okay, let's go on a little bit further.
14 cents. Yes, I said your first transfer.
Right. So now they're implying they're going to pay us regularly. They don't even know who I am. Right? There's no question this is a scam. But let's go on a little bit further.
Because from today, you will be able to receive $632.14 up to twice a week.
Why would it be $632.14? I mean, first of all, I'm not even in America. And they're not even mentioning which dollars it is anyway. It could be Australian dollars or Canadian dollars or anything. So the whole thing is targeting American people. And yet it's on a website that is completely international. So they're making all these assumptions. That's important to recognize as well. You need to think about what someone's trying to convince you of. If they're taking for granted you're from a country, that means a video is targeted for a certain person. What are they trying to get people to think? Well, if you're promising to pay people $1,200 a week, nearly $1,300 a week, for nothing, without any reason at all, when you don't know who they are, that's not a business, is it? That's a madness. Or somebody so philanthropic that the likes of which we haven't seen for hundreds of years. People just aren't that philanthropic anymore. People are greedy. That's what the fiat currency seems to do to people. Anyway, let's go on a little bit further and see what else they have to say. Because this video, you can see how long it is, 16 minutes. That's very typically about the sort of recognized length of trying to convince somebody of something. They're trying to get you to click. There's various points in this video where they're expecting you to break, like after 1 minute, after 3 minutes, after 5 minutes, after 7 minutes, and whatever. If they haven't got you after 16 minutes, they're not going to get you, and they realise that. They want you to take action. So let's find out what action they want us to take, because then we can start to understand what these people are trying to achieve.
But first, you need to validate this transfer of $632.14 by...
Oh, hang on a minute. You just told me we'd already made this transfer. Right, so by choosing your preferred method of receiving it. Let's just see what these offers are.
Choosing your preferred method of receiving it. You have 3 options. You can choose to receive this money through a regular bank transfer. This is actually the fastest option and the one I recommend. The estimated waiting time is about 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Okay, I mean, I don't know exactly what happens in America in terms of transfer, but in the UK and Europe it's instant. Well, at least it seems to be instant. I mean, obviously it must take some amount of time, but it happens really quickly. So they're trying to convince us to do this first option. Let's just see what the other options are.
You can also choose to receive these $632.14 directly into your PayPal account. In this case, you will need to wait for 6 minutes for the money to be in your account.
Okay, well, I mean, what difference does that even make? 2.5 and 6 minutes. In my experience, PayPal's quicker than that, but so here's a sign, though, obviously, that we're talking about American people being targeted because it says Western Union.
But it is also possible to receive this first transfer of $632.14
When I say America, I mean USA, obviously.
through Western Union. This time, the transfer takes a bit longer, and you may have to wait up to 24 minutes to receive it.
Right, so, I mean, it's minutes either way. So, I mean, that's a really, really interesting device, isn't it? That it's going to take 10 times as long to do one option. Trying to generate excitement here. You know, I'm going to have $600 in 2.5 minutes. You know, and they're giving you a few other options almost to sort of validate the idea in your head.
Don't worry, whether the choice you make, the transfer will be completely secure thanks to our partnership with trusted banking institutions.
Okay, so no specifics, no names, no nothing. You know, that's very, very suspicious.
In less than 2 minutes, you will be able to accept your first transfer of $632.14.
Okay, so it's just gone from 2.5 minutes to less than 2 minutes. This video is 16 minutes long, and he's saying in less than 2 minutes. Right? That doesn't make any sense at all.
And you can repeat this simple process twice a week, on Saturdays and Wednesdays. Receiving 2 transfers of $632.14 per week would indeed amount to a total of $1,264.28 per week, which is over $5,057 per month. I understand that this may seem completely unbelievable, and you may think I'm just another scammer, and it's normal to have that reaction in your position.
Okay, this is all about convincing people. We've got no facts here, we've got no nothing. He's just stringing us along. You know, this is an AI voice anyway. So the purpose is already clearly in my mind to deceive people and to get a reaction out of people that's going to be taking their money. You know, they're saying, oh, it's normal to have that reaction in your position. In other words, when other people are saying, oh, don't do that, it's a scam, they're trying to get through that resistance. They're trying to say, look, everybody says it's a scam, but it's not. You know, those other people telling you not to do this are stupid. You know, you're the clever one, you're going to sign up for this. That's the thought process they're trying to get into people's heads.
However, the transfer of $632.14 that you are about to receive is real. In fact, I asked Hugo, one of the 95 people who have already received their first payment, if he would be willing to film the validation and receipt of his transfer. He kindly agreed.
Salut Romain, c'est Hugo. Je voulais te montrer comment ça fonctionne pour moi, pour les virements et au passage.
Well, Hugo's French. I mean, it sounds like he's French in France to me. That doesn't sound like Quebecois, but I might be wrong. I haven't spent that much time there. But either way, if you're talking about receiving US dollars, he's not receiving US dollars. Now that screen is in a browser, and for some reason we can't see the address because he's holding the phone in portrait. We can't see the URL, the address bar. Is it worth just doing a quick search for that? Okay, so I can't see anything online. I'm assuming that's what it says. It's difficult because we can't see the whole screen. But that's not coming up with any results whatsoever. So whatever screen he's looking at there might be completely custom. It might just be a local file.
Je te remercie infiniment pour ce que tu as fait pour moi, pour cette méthode qui franchement, il n'y a pas photo, ça marche super bien. Donc là, on a 3 choix. Soit on reçoit le virement par banque, soit PayPal, soit Western Union. Moi, je choisis toujours le virement bancaire parce que c'est le plus rapide et c'est le plus simple pour moi. Voilà, donc là, on a une page qui s'ouvre. Donc oui, je veux recevoir un virement bancaire. Et là, on a une page qui nous dit « Félicitations, vos 632,14 € arriveront sur votre compte bancaire dans 2 minutes et quelques. » Bon, bah, il n'y a plus qu'à attendre. Hein. Et voilà, félicitations, nous venons de vous envoyer 632,14 € sur votre compte bancaire. C'est dingue parce que ce compteur, à chaque fois, j'ai l'impression que c'est le nouvel an. Tu sais, quand il y a le compteur 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bam, c'est parti. Bon, allez, trêve de bavardage. Maintenant, je te montre hop, mon compte bancaire pour prouver que j'ai bien reçu l'argent. Et te remercier encore une fois. Donc voilà, là, 632,14 €. C'est bien le virement 47.1 que j'ai reçu aujourd'hui, à l'instant.
I also received an email
I mean, I couldn't make out the URL at any point in that. It was just moving too fast.
from Sophia, a 49-year-old stay-at-home
Okay, 49-year-old stay-at-home mum. So they're giving you the idea that, any person suffering difficulty can do this for free, which is absolutely ridiculous.
mother living in Dallas, who is raising her 3 children alone. She received her first transfer of $632.14 yesterday afternoon via bank transfer. Good evening, Mr. Rosilio. It's Sophia. I just received $632.14 directly into my bank account. I don't know how to thank you. I am so...
That's not particularly good English, is it? Thanks you. Mr. Rosilio, I just received $632.14. As if you'd bother mentioning the amount to the cent. Directly into my bank account. How are you paying tax on that? I mean, what is this all about? It's just complete and utter nonsense.
so happy. As for Abuna, a young man of Ivorian origin, this is already the 7th time he has received his transfers of $632.14 via Western Union, allowing him to cash in over $4,424 in just 1 month. Thank you, Roman. It's been almost a month since I discovered your method, and everything is working great. Today, I received my 7th transfer through Western Union.
In general, method, platform, product, it's completely non-specific. This is a video that can be used for so many different scams, which is one of the reasons that they're prepared to spend time making it, because you can just take it from any country that's going to be able to understand English. You can take it from country to country to country, and dollars, is the international standard for money, obviously. So you can, give people the idea. I mean, in lots of parts of the world, that even dollars aren't the national currency. You can still, all the way through Africa and the Middle East, you can still deal in dollars. So that's something else to bear in mind, your method. The only thing that's consistent is this idea of this Roman Rosilio. That's the one thing that has to stay consistent through all of this. Let's just find out who Roman is. Okay, well there you go, Roman Rosilio. You would have thought there'd be quite a lot of talk about him on Reddit if any of this was real. Whoever Roman Rosilio is, he's a fake person.
Thank you so much. Just before this short video ends and you can receive your first transfer,
Oh, this video's not going to end for 16 minutes and 9 seconds.
I must inform you that legally, you will need to declare the money you will receive during your regular tax declaration. Of course, you can decide what to do. It's definitely your choice. Oh, I just realized I haven't introduced myself yet.
Right, this video is scripted and preordained, remember that. I've just realised that's not a video. This is all typed out in text in advance. How could he have just realised? He's lying.
My name is Roman Rosilio, and I'm 38 years old. I am a father of 2 little girls, Lola and Matilda. After completing a master's degree in computer engineering in MIT, the most prestigious computer engineering school in the United States according to the Time magazine, I worked at Apple for almost 11 years, one of the most powerful multinational companies in the world. I was responsible for cybersecurity and protecting numerous sensitive data.
That sentence doesn't even make sense. The syntax is all wrong. Numerous sensitive data doesn't make sense.
I was responsible for
Somebody who's worked at Apple for 11 years would know that.
cybersecurity and protecting numerous sensitive data. Here is my former employee card. It is thanks to all the knowledge and skills I gained through my experience that I was able to develop the AT8XM robot. It is this
I wouldn't say somebody who's interested in cybersecurity would show their Apple ID live on a video on Vimeo, which is where this was originally sourced from.
very robot that will allow you to
Okay, robot is another key word. Automatically receive is a key phrase. This is a scam.
automatically receive $632.14 twice a week, which adds up to 8 transfers of $632.14 every month. By the way, the robot is called AT8XM for a reason. It stands for Automatic Transfer 8x per month. To explain briefly, the AT8XM robot exploits a discrete loophole hidden within Apple's file transfer
protocol is a very out-of-date idea. You do see it occasionally on things like downloads for software from like HP or something like that, you know, but it's less and less common. Everything tends to run over HTTPS these days, or SSL or TLS or whatever you want to call it. If there was a vulnerability with something at Apple, his job would have been to fix it. And now he's claiming that he's going to tell everybody he used to work at Apple and he's exploiting something in their system that allows you to steal $632. You know, a loophole is something that the law hasn't addressed. It's part of the law that something hasn't been addressed, so technically it's something that isn't illegal. This is an intent to deprive Apple of $632 every 3 days. That's theft. It's fraud. You know, there's no other way to look at it. This is just complete and utter nonsense.
Transfer protocol, FTP. And it is this loophole that legally allows the robot to transfer.
How could it be a loophole? That's not a loophole. That is a security weakness. It's a vulnerability. How could it be legal for a robot to transfer $632 every Saturday and Wednesday out of Apple? How could that ever be legal?
For $632.14 to the bank account, PayPal, or Western Union of its users. If you're interested in the technical details, you can contact me at my personal email, romanrosilio@gmail.com. I would be blessed to discuss it with you. Please know that coding the AT8XM robot was extremely technical and challenging. It took me a lot of time and experience. It took over 7 months before it was eventually operational, and I could finally receive my first automatic transfer of $632.14. And for
Really hammering that number home, aren't they?
almost 6 months now, 94 ordinary people have been receiving their...
So, I mean, let's get that straight. So you're telling me that Apple haven't noticed 60 grand twice a week leaving any account for 7 months?
$632.14 transfers twice a week. And since yesterday morning, you are the 95th person. And it's not going to stop. Apple has been around since 1976, and it is still one of the most significant companies in the world. As long as this company exists, the AT8XM robot will continue to send 2 transfers of $632.14 to its users every week. If I put in so much effort to develop this system, it's because I wanted to quit my job. Okay, I loved what I was doing, and I was really well paid.
Right, now you're going to rip them off. Right, so I mean, we could go to this video to the end, but I just don't see the point because it is complete nonsense. Bear in mind what I said about the keywords. Things like automatic system, robot, you know, being paid automatically, you know, being paid for nothing. That doesn't just sound too good to be true. That is completely impossible. The idea that a stay-at-home mum is getting paid $1,264 a week for doing nothing because Apple haven't addressed a security flaw is absurd and completely illegal. Always bear that in mind. No one's going to pay you to do nothing. Also bear in mind that when someone tells you, oh, we're going to pay, you know, $2,000 a week for you to test this system, why would they ever do that? They could pay somebody in West Africa $2 a week to do that job, if it's that simple. You know, if it's all about getting you to sign up, then it's a scam. Why do they want your information? Why do they want your phone number? They want your phone number so someone can phone you, and they want to put you in a vulnerable state of mind in order for that person to extract stuff from you, i.e. money. I mean, we haven't even got as far as them saying what they actually want us to do, and we're 7 minutes into this video nearly. We'll just get past
Simply click on the button below, enter your first name and email address on the next page, and pay the $6.80 transfer fee. You will then receive an email with a link to access your user space, where you can securely validate the receipt of your transfer. At this point, you are probably...
So that's what they want. They want $6.80 and your email address. However they're going to make your payments. Typically with these situations, what it is you're actually signing up for a subscription, where in the small print at the bottom it will say, oh, your initial payment is £6.80, and then for the use of this website it's $40 every 2 weeks. And after 2 weeks of realizing that the website's completely pointless, you'll try and get your money back, and they'll say, well, if you read the small print at the bottom, you had access to the website, we don't have to give you your money back. That's the way most of these scams work. The important thing to take away from this is they're not going to give you free money. Anyone saying free money is the old too good to be true. And if you look at what people say in general about these videos, I knew it was too good to be true. Some people don't realize it's too good to be true. And I hope from listening to what I've said to you, you will realize before you get that far into these videos that anyone offering you free money is trying to defraud you. There's nothing in it for them. It doesn't matter whether they say they used to be a worker at NASA or Apple or wherever. Nobody leaves a company like that to start robbing them, or to start giving away free money, or to start making robots that invest in cryptocurrency to give you free money. If you had a robot that could earn free money, you sure as heck wouldn't tell people about it, I promise you that much. So bear that in mind, and thanks very much to Tracy for raising that important point. Rather than just putting the video out, it is important to address what it is, but I just wanted to write boiler room scam so that when people typed in the ATX8M robot, hopefully this would come up near the top and they'd see boiler room scam, and it would save a few people. But I do take your point, Tracy. Addressing it point by point is important, and I hope this video helps as many people as possible avoid this rather crude and cruel scam. Anyone telling you, oh, it's going to cost 0.6 of a Bitcoin to receive 300. It's just like the old Nigerian prince scam. It's the same scam. I've got $6 billion buried in my back garden, but I need $2,000 to hire a digger to dig it up. It's just a scam. Be careful. It's the best advice I can give any of you. Good luck.